Junqueira Rodas
Junqueira Rodas is a family group that has its headquarters in Monte Azul Paulista. In 2018, it's celebrating its 50th anniversary. The group was formed by Mr. Fabio and Miss Maria Teresa 50 years ago, and today we have 12 productive units, most of them in the state of São Paulo with sugarcane and orange. And also beef cattle. And also we have a footprint in the city of Itaquiraí, Mato Grosso do Sul. Now, regarding the production area, citrus is our main product. We have over 4,200 hectares of production, followed by sugar cane, over 3,800 hectares, 35% of production, and pastures with over 2,800 hectares. That is 26% of our production capacity. Regarding oranges, this is a brief summary of the business, from the company. Today, the orange farms are all in the state of São Paulo. They start in the north of the state and they go to the center-south of the state of São Paulo, Santa Rita do Passa Quatro, São José do Rio Preto, and also the surroundings of Monte Azul Paulista. That's where we get our over 4,200 hectares. We have over 2 million trees. This is a young grove. 36% of our plants are still in development, from 3 years of age, and the average of our groves is of 6.5 has the age of 6.5 years, so it's very young. Regarding yield, and I believe that like most of you that are here today, in our last season we had our record over 1,500 boxes per hectare, and now in this season we should go back to 1,100 boxes per hectare, and we will have those 4 million boxes in production. Our fruit is mainly manufactured for production for industry, 12% early, 35% mid-station, and 53% is late. Our average density is of 513 plants per hectare, and we consider that all our regions in the north region are irrigated, so all areas in the north region are irrigated. Regarding the greening management, basically we follow the manual, the commandments from the citrus. We support and we do believe in all work that from the citrus develop and that they send by their own researches, and also by the studies that from partners that help them. Anyway, we follow those 10 commandments. As I said, healthy baby plants. The group has a nursery with a capacity of 200,000 baby plants. We have bi-weekly diaphorina inspections, and every week we monitor the yellow stick traps, and we have traps at every 50 meters. Our sprayings meet the criteria of 50 millimeters per cubic meter up to 3 years of age at every 10 days, and after 3 years of age at every 15 days. And in this starting from last budget, we meet the sprouting also system. Now, on systemic spraying, we work with vaccines right after nurseries. So a few days before the baby plants are taken out from the nurseries, they receive the vaccine, and they receive then 4 applications a year from August to February up to the 3rd year. We have 4 inspections a year of symptomatic plants from February to August, which are the months with the most symptoms, whether on the ground or on the platform, and the eradication is done once a year after harvesting, starting now in the middle of the year with the early ones and ending at the end of the year with the late ones. The replanting of groves up to 3 years is a total area, and after 3 years we only replant the plot periods because of operating matters. Since this alert has been created, we participate. We check all the charts that the technical agents sent us, and starting last year, since October of last year, we started working on external management. We did not work with external management before, and I'll explain more about that. And we started working on there starting in October. So we monitor the traps on a weekly basis. We have chosen some areas, external areas, strategic points, and we also do a weekly analysis of the traps in the strategic neighbors of the farm. And we support Funda Citrus in the eradication and identification of the disease in the neighborhood. Well, our greening annual index, and these are the blue bars, and here you can see that in 2015 and 2016, they were favorable. We had a low level around 0.5%. And we have an unpleasant surprise last year. That rate increased significantly, and I will explain you why. And this year, we have 2.5 inspections already ongoing. We have reached 0.6% of plants infected. Although our level of diaphragm has decreased, we had a high level of infections last year. So this is the map of the Funda Citrus survey, the regions, and infections related to each one of the regions. So in black you have Funda Citrus data, and in blue the data of our farms of different regions. So in Bebedouro region, we have 7.7% of plants with greening, and our figure there is 0.33. In São José do Rio Preto, 5.5, and our rate is 1.2%. In Porto Ferreira, 25, and ours is 0.65%. And in Duartina, that's where we have that unpleasant surprise last year. This is a region with 22% of greening, and our greening reached 14% last season. So these are the figures per region. São José do Rio Preto around 1%, Porto Ferreira around 1% as well this year, Bebedouro a little bit less than 0.5%, and Duartina region, that's where we had low levels of infestations, and in 2017 we reached 14%. And here you can see the diaphragm line 2 years in a row with significant numbers. This is our diaphragm chart for this farm. You can see that from the last populational peak we had a significant increase in the season of 16-17, 3 times more than what the farm had already recorded before. And because of this external monitoring, we reached 700 times more in a few weeks of capturing in neighboring regions. So some of the hypotheses were these: the populational increase and the fact that we work with severe pruning and the increased sprouting, and this was not enough to the spraying calendars that we had. So several studies already have showed the influence of sprouting and the influence in the transmission, the impact and the environment. So we changed from then on. We reinforced these sprayings post-pruning in the farm starting last season. And so we also developed the external eradication work started in October 17, a partnership with Funda Citrus. We provided labor and also baby plants to change the myrtle or some citrus plants. As it has already been said, the compliance is over 80%, and over 30,000 plants have been eradicated already. These are the situations that Guilherme showed. That's what we find. It's difficult for us from the productive sector to have that type of approach. Funde Citrus does that line of work, and we support them. And I have here the same person in all the pictures to show you that this is one day after another. And we believe and we support Funde Citrus work. Regarding costs, today our general cost is of around 29% for labor, 32% for input, 10% fuel, irrigation, and others you can see here. But the greening cost is of around 16% of the total production cost. And that support provided by Funde Citrus will add up only 1.6% of the HLB cost. So as my final remarks, I should say that we understand that there is a trend and access increase. There is no safe place. This is going to happen, so there's no way that we can do more than what we already do in the farms. The enforcement of springs and sprouting periods have to happen. We have to do that follow-up, whether by decreasing the mixture volume, the yield, that those have to follow the sprouting flow. And also we have to support external management. And for us, it is worthwhile. The cost is low, and we are still supporting them. Thank you very much, and thank you, Funde Citrus, for your support.